Hey y'all, welcome to Sunshine Haze. For those of you that have never seen one of my videos, I'm Aja A. For those of you that are already subscribed or have seen me on YouTube or on the internet somewhere, what's good? Thank you for tuning in. As y'all know, quick thank yous and plugs I do at the beginning of all of my videos. Thank you to all of my subscribers, new subscribers again. Hey, what's up? Thank you to all of my clients, my new clients, especially the ones that I have gained from this YouTube channel, and customers for, my jewelry, natal charts, what else do I do? Numerology reports, compatibility, natal compatibility. Am I missing anything? I don't know. I might be, check out my Etsy shop or email me and I can give you a list of my services. Okay, guys? So, as I have uploaded a new video, you guys know that means we've got something going on with the moon, obviously, because that's what I post videos for the most part. We are now coming into a new lunar cycle. And we're having a new moon in fire sign of Aries. So this is going to be a really, really poppin' time. We just started spring. It's Aries season. And it's getting warm, people starting to come out, but that's actually not what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I'm going to talk to you about the new lunar cycle. We are coming out of the Pisces lunar cycle and coming off of the full moon in Libra. So for this past month, we've been dealing with, new epiphanies, realizations as far as our spirituality goes, maybe a shift in perspective, and then also probably looking at a lot of new creative ventures or the budding of new creative projects. And some of you guys may have been feeling a little lusty, a little lovey-dovey, because Pisces is a water sign, and Pisces is a sign closely associated with sensuality. And if you know any Pisces people, they are lovers and they love to love all over the place. So we are coming out of that lunar cycle. New beginnings for everything surrounding that, and then we're coming off of the full moon in Libra, which we were dealing with, illumination, shedding some light on things that needed to be changed or what needed to be healed, because we were dealing with that full moon in 11 degrees. The sun is crazy outside right now, but springtime. Sorry guys, what was I talking about? The 11 degrees of Libra. So we were dealing with that 11 energy, that master number, enlightenment, healing energy, and then also dealing with the sign of Libra, dealing with a lot of karmic situations, and also dealing with our partnerships and our relationships, shedding light on the things that needed to be changed or healed or phased out, as far as everything that I just listed goes. So basically last month was a lot of work. That was probably done underneath the surface for a lot of you. Maybe a lot of you probably didn't even notice, but then for those of you that do pay attention to astrology, the astrologies, you probably noticed some of these energies coming into play in your life, and you're like, what is going on? Because Pisces energy is wild, Libra energy is kind of tough. So it was a lot of work being done last month, and as I've said in many of my other videos, we're not really getting a break. It's an 11 years, so let's get right to it. New moon in Aries, what does that mean? New lunar cycle, new beginnings. The new moon is going to be on April 15th. That's the day after my best friend's birthday, so I am going to drop a little shout out. Happy birthday, Sam! And congratulations, Monica! So you better watch this video because you have a shout out in it. No, happy birthday. You're a really awesome friend. Even though you be wilding and you get on my nerves. I don't know how that worked out with us. It's fire and water. But I love you, Sam. Sap moment. Happy birthday, girl. April 15th. That is a Sunday. Oh, that means Sam's birthday's on a Saturday. It's lit. April 15th is a Sunday. The new moon is going to be at 9:57. Hey, I remembered. I'm getting better, guys. 9:57 Eastern Standard Time. So do your calculations wherever you are in the world and figure out, when the new moon will be really coming in as the new moon for you. And it's going to be in 26 degrees. So let's give a little brief really quickly as to what this new moon means. The new moon is associated with new beginnings, new phases, new cycles, coming out of the old, and, you know, rebirth, rejuvenation, creation. Sorry, not create. Oh, we're dealing with the fire moon, so a little bit of creativity there, but new moon's still with creation of new projects, new everything, okay? And also, because we're in a new lunar cycle, and as you guys know, when the moon is doing stuff, it affects our emotions. For me personally, and what I observe, what I've seen, is that around the new moon, people aren't as emotional and, you know, crying and all sappy as they usually are around the full moon, but people tend to be a little bit more on edge. Like, anxiety runs a little bit higher, and that just has to do with us being in a time where we're a little confused. There's a little haziness as to what's going on, what's coming into play. The new moon means the sun, the moon, and the earth are all aligned, and the side that is illuminated of the moon is actually facing away from us. So there's no light for us. It's kind of like we're in the dark, and that makes people a little anxious, makes people a little testy. And the way it comes out, because the moon governs our emotions, it comes out as, you know, people snapping, not necessarily, you know, crying and stuff, but people may be affected differently depending on what you have in your chart. That's just kind of what I've noticed. All right, guys, those are the basics. I'm excited to talk to y'all about this moon being in Aries. So, the moon is a water sign. I'm sorry, the moon is in the water element, ruled by the water element, and Aries is a fire sign. So water and fire do not typically go together, so, or they tend to balance each other out. But when water and when water and fire get together, it's a very intense mix. It's very potent energy. So just know that this is going to be a very potent moon for you guys, especially, and I'll talk to y'all about who's really affected by this one a little bit later in the video. But so we've got the moon, the new moon, new phases, new beginnings coming in the sign of Aries, which is the beginning of the astrological calendar. So Aries is the first sign. It starts off the astrological year, and we are in the first season of the year, which is spring, which is new beginnings. And although spring started in March, this is the first full month of spring. So this is, you know, beginning vibrations all around with Aries and with April and with spring coming in. And then on top of that, Aries is, because it's the first sign of the year, it is a cardinal sign. It starts the spring season. So we are really, really, really dealing with a lot of get shit poppin' energy. That's really what this lunar cycle is going to be about. New beginnings. And because Aries is the sign associated with the self, what we're going, I'm jumping ahead. So Aries, if you guys don't know what this sign is all about, Aries is the sign heavily, why can't I talk? Anytime I do anything involving the fire signs and people with fire, or the fire element, I get tongue twisted when I read cards. I can't shuffle. It's crazy. So I apologize if I sound like a crazy person. Fire video making me talk crazy and look crazy. I feel like I'm just kind of all over the place right now. That's fire. That's air, but which I don't have in my chart either. Anyways, guys, Aries is associated with the self. Aries, you know, when you hear people talk about Aries people, you hear they're often referred to as selfish, which, yeah, they can be, but it's really because Aries is just a sign that has a lot to do with who am I, who do I want to be, who do I want y'all to see me as. That's Aries for you. So because we're in a new moon in the sign of Aries, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be starting new cycles, new phases, new strategies, as far as things that have to deal with our personal lives, us, me. This new moon is about you, but it's about me. That's what this new moon is about. So we spend a lot of time throughout the year, especially with these lunar cycles, working with aspects outside of ourselves. This Aries moon, and then like Leo is another moon that will deal, Leo is another sign that deals with the self, but Leo is more so associated with yourself on display. Aries is more associated with yourself in the personal. So throughout the year, we deal with all the aspects of the other signs. This time is really the time for you to be selfish. We actually, you know, let's play a little bit on the shadow aspects of Aries, and this new moon wants you to be a little selfish. It really wants you to tap into yourself and see what it is. What do you need? What do you want? And how are you going to get to that point? My favorite aspect of this new moon in Aries is the fact that it is in a fire sign. And for those of y'all that have been keeping up with me, that watch my videos, you know I'm not a fire being. I'm water and earth, but I love the fire element because it is all about action. It has that magician energy. It has that let's get to it, let's actually move on it energy. That's what this new moon is all about, because we're talking about new beginnings, and we're talking about starting new cycles, new phases. All that is good when we're not in the fire element, but once we get into this fire, into this Aries, into this me time, we are really going to pick up that, all right, I have manifested what I wanted. I have written down what I intend to happen for myself. I have put out into the universe. I have prayed for what these things that I really want to come into play. But now it's actually time to make it happen. You know, we have free will. And yes, everything is lined up for us. Everything is divine timing, but you can always change your course, and things still come full circle, but you can always change the path that you walk or the way that you get to wherever it is that you're going. So, you know, you have all of these tools for you, but the thing is, what do you do with it? So this Aries moon, this new moon in Aries, is actually going to give you that push to say, okay, I've laid out the path, now let's actually start walking down it. Because we all tend to do that. We make these plans, and then, or maybe we don't all tend to do that. Maybe I'm about to give y'all a little bit of information about myself. Make these plans, and it looks really good. It looks like, oh, that's popping, I want to do that. And then you don't act on them. So, you know, Aries moon, the new moon in Aries, really is coming about to say, hey, these are all the new things that are lined up for you now that you've done all that work with Libra, that you've done that work with Pisces, that you've been working with this eclipse energy, with this 11 universal year energy, coming into this year with that grand water trine. Now that you've done all of that work and all that clearing, here's a path for you. Here's the energy to walk down it. That's literally all this Aries moon, well, not all, but that is one of the main things that this Aries moon is going to bring about for us, okay? So now that you know a little bit about Aries and a little bit about the new moon, what I've started to do in my videos is talk to y'all a little bit about numerology. And this is one of the most like interesting aspects for me when I do the research for these moons and what's going to be going on. And I really like looking at the numerology of what is going to be happening, because yeah, you know, we all put out the same video. What is the new moon in Aries? What's going to be happening? But not everybody talks about numerology and what it really breaks down to. So let's segue. I don't know what video it was where I was talking about segue. I know how to spell it now, y'all. Let's segue into numerology now. So this Aries, the new moon in Aries, is going to be coming in at 26 degrees. So it's in 26 degrees of Aries. And the number 26 resonates with the energy that has to do with finding peace and remaining at peace within yourself and actually getting to that point. So the number 2 associated with harmony, peace, cohesiveness, and the number 6 is a number that has the vibrations of love and nurturing. So talking about Aries, the sign of self, and these new phases, what this new moon coming in this degree, as I have said earlier in the video, it's really about setting ourselves up for success on our own personal paths and setting ourselves up to where we are at peace in our own personal lives, in our own spaces, in our own heads. That is really what this degree is saying. Hey, this is what this new moon has to bring about for you. These are the new phases that are really important, that are really, really, really going to be implementing in your life right now. Breaking down 26, it goes into 8, which I think is, as I say, divine timing. The universe is crazy. Synchronicity is wild, especially in this year. This 11 energy is no joke, y'all. I do keep talking about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my video on the 11 universal year. Shout out to all my 11s, all my master numbers, but especially my 11s. 26 breaks down into 8, and 8 is a very spiritual number. So this portion of the numerology plays a little bit into the last lunar cycle. The full moon in Libra was in 11 degrees, which is a very spiritual number, which brought in enlightenment for us and showed us what we needed to be healing. And because it was in Libra, we're talking about karmic situations and really healing and, you know, removing and transmuting things that are keeping us out of balance. And because we're coming off of that spiritual number in that karmic sign, this new moon, even though it's in 26 degrees, breaking down to 8, plays a little bit more into the karma. 8 is a karmic number. So what I believe that this new moon in Aries is doing for us, everything that you cleared out with that 11 degrees of Libra in the full moon, this 26 degrees of Aries going into 8 is saying, okay, you did away with that. That was half of the karmic work that needed to be done. Now it's the time to do the setting up of the last half of the karmic work that needs to be done. So again, another very important moon. I think new beginnings are important, and then also the numerology and the sign that it's in and just the placement during the year that it's in. You know, this is going to be an important one too. All the moons are important, but that last lunar cycle and this one, very, very intense. And I don't know that we're going to be able to chill this year, as I said, but this one's important too. One more numerology thing. We're in the 4th month. So the number 4 deals with structure, with building, with setting up our foundations. And again, it's in the beginning of the astrological year, and it's in the beginning of the spring season, which has to do with, you know, new beginnings, rebirth, rejuvenation. So with this new moon being in the 4 month, we are looking at new ways to build. So we're looking at action, and then we've been looking at new ways to build, but because we are in the 4th month now, those things that we were talking about when, like, did I say this earlier? I may not have said this. When Saturn actually transitioned into Capricorn, those things that we were getting started on, trying to implement into our lives, this 4th month energy with this new moon and this Aries, this fire, vibrant energy, we're really, really going to be looking at how to actually put those things into existence now. We've been really working out the details, straightening out the kinks, but now it's time to actually get started on those endeavors, those projects, everything that we've been wanting to come into existence. So a lot of, I'm not going to say tough energy during this moon, but it's definitely going to be a lot of intense and most likely a lot of quick moving energy during this moon. It may seem like things are not slowing down for you. It may seem like things are happening back to back to back to back, which is, depending on how you feel about life right now, is not necessarily a bad thing. People that are going to be affected by this moon the most would be anybody with a lot of Aries in their chart or a lot of fire, but specifically if you've got a fire moon or an Aries moon, or if you are a Cancer because you're governed by the moon, but specifically really, really, really if you're a cardinal sign, so Cancer, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, any of all of y'all that I just mentioned that have personal planets in 26 degrees or very close to it, give or take like 3 or 4 degrees. I tend to stick with 3, but we do 3 or 4. If you have personal planets, sun, moon, or rising, really, but also, you know, Mercury, Venus, Mars, any of those planets in that degree, especially if it's in a fire sign, especially if it's in Aries, you are going to be heavily affected by this new moon. And it's really just going to be your time to really get shit poppin', as I keep saying. This is really the get shit poppin' moon. I love it. I'm ready. The beginning energy of this year was a little heavy, and it wasn't because it was rough. It was because there's work that needed to be done for us to clear things out. I'm gonna go back into Saturn and Capricorn. These next couple years, it's all about foundations, building up and breaking down. And the first year when Saturn is in a new sign, it has more so to do with, you know, fixing things that need to be fixed. So the beginning of this year, we're really dealing with, you know, getting rid of things that we just don't need or don't need to be doing. I'm excited for this moon, guys. Things are going to be coming into play. It's such an intense energy. Fire energy is so intense, and with the moon and our emotions, we're really going to be moving, guys. And so all that stuff that I've been talking to you about in these other videos, like your full moon intentions, I hope you guys did them, especially for this full moon in Libra. If you do intentions, even if you don't do intentions and you are interested, I will have up a blog for how I do my new moon intentions. It's really not anything extensive, and it's way less intricate than the full moon. So go on and click that link if you're interested in, you know, really setting some manifestations. I notice that these things tend to come into play when the full moon comes into play, where they really start to set themselves up, or within like the year's cycle. So, but it is different for every person and how you do your personal work. Like I said, new energy, new action, really time to get shit poppin'. I think I may title this "Get Shit Poppin'" because I've said that how many times in this video? Too many. What else do I need to remind you guys about? The energy for this new moon. Just keep in mind that people may be a little on edge. We are still in Mercury in retrograde in the same sign for the next few days, and then we'll still have a little bit of the shadow. So for the next, until April is over, just keep in mind that we're still dealing with Mercury being in retrograde. So it's a very intense sign. So just be careful with your communications, guys, and just keep in mind that people are dealing with new moon energy anxiety and Mercury in retrograde anxiety. So, you know, if you need to meditate, meditate. If you are an artistic individual, do something creative. If you're not, and you're more, you know, of an action person, take your ass to the gym or go play some sports, do something, release. Keep yourself sane, because you really need clarity during this time, because we're bringing new things into play. Okay, guys? All right, we're almost at the end. We're almost there, y'all. I have a couple more things to say. I have tarot forecasts going up because we have a new lunar cycle. And so for those of you that watch my tarot forecast, I've had some people ask me, so is this for the next couple of weeks until the full moon? No. When I put up a tarot lunar forecast, it is for that month, that duration of that sign in that lunar cycle. So although we're going into the Taurus solar season, we are going into the Aries lunar season. So I'm basing it off of the lunar season, and that's just from Taurus sun to what's after Taurus? Gemini sun. So Aries moon to Taurus moon. So for about a month, so mid-month to mid-month is what my tarot forecasts cover. And then oftentimes the things that I talk about in those videos are a little more so prominent around the new moon. I do offer full moon readings, but I don't put them up for free on YouTube. That is a lot of work. That's a lot of bread. So if you want a full moon reading when that time comes around, let me know. If you want a more in-depth new moon reading, because I put out general readings, definitely shoot me an email or send me a question, a message on Instantgo. I don't really use it that much, but if you guys are familiar with it, I definitely am on there. So, you know, hit me up on there. What else did I talk about in this video? I've got a whole bunch of videos on my channel now. It's kind of hard to keep up. I would say check out the Mercury retrograde video. And I would also say check out the new moon in Pisces and the full moon in Libra videos to get an idea of what we were setting ourselves up with before this new lunar started. Fucking Aries, fire energy. I really can't talk. Check out those videos, y'all, because I can't talk. I'm about to wrap this up. Thank you again to everybody for watching, especially if you made it all the way through this video, because it's going on 25 minutes. But you know, I be watching videos that be like an hour and a half long. I don't know how y'all sit there and talk for that long. Like, I feel like I've said everything I need to say. So I hope this energy I do hope this energy finds y'all well. I do hope y'all can take a little bit of my crazy that I'm filling with this fire and put it into your life, because my water earth has died. I'm trying to chill, but I hope this positive energy does find you guys well. But I was really trying to say that I hope this information, you know, helps you guys move through this lunar cycle, because that's what I put the videos up for. If you like the video, go on and hit the little thumbs up button. If you didn't like the video, they give you the option to hit the dislike button, but I don't know why y'all do that. Like, if you don't like the video, just click out of it. Don't even waste your time pressing the thumbs down button. But you know, everybody has their vices. I guess pressing the thumbs down button might be one for some of y'all. But if you like the video, please go on and hit the thumbs up button. If you really like the video and want to share this information with somebody, please feel free to click the share button, share it on all of your social media platforms. Drop a comment or question below if you have any. I do check the channel often, at least a few times a week, so I will definitely get on here and respond to you. I do respond to everybody that reaches out to me, so I definitely will give you a response if you do drop something down below there. And subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that little bell if you want to keep up with when I put out videos, especially the tarot forecast. But what I've been watching my niece all weekend, and I am covered in, like, I guess you guys can't see it, but I'm like covered in like food coloring and like markers. I don't even know when we have markers. I don't even know if that was her, but like, where are all these colors coming from? I won't be offended if you guys don't hit subscribe. I had to unsubscribe. I'm sorry, hit the notifications. I had to take myself off of a few notifications. So I was like, dang, I can't even see my own notifications. But I would appreciate it if y'all subscribe to the channel. Spread love. That's how we get this. That's how we get our businesses out there. I was talking to an old friend of mine, a high school classmate. I sent her my last video, and she made it a point to tell me, you know, she had kind of turned away from astrology because there wasn't a lot of representation from women of color within this field, which is interesting because I actually was encouraged to actually get on here and start making these videos because I saw women of color doing this, and I said, okay, there's actually, you know, a path for me there. So if there's anybody feeling like her, y'all, I am a black girl, but if you look back at my bloodline, I got a lot of stuff in there, so a lot of y'all can, you know, relate to me. But for those of you that maybe have turned away from astrology, the astrology's for that reason. Come on back, because I want to educate you. I want to share some information, and, you know, I want you to be able to share the information as well, especially if there are people feeling like that. So I am rambling now, guys. I'm gonna 28 minutes. Yeah, y'all. I'm done. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all next time.